Okay, good evening, everyone. It is still Happy New Year. I think we're going to stop saying Happy New Year until January 31st. I think that's the saying. So, Happy New Year. I hope everyone has started their New Year's the way they want it and are able to stick to the plan that they have in place to achieve whatever those goals are throughout the year. I know that I always say I'm going to make this quick tonight, which I really plan on doing. I know I'm late. I know I said I'll be here at 7 o'clock on Wednesdays, but just know I'll be here whatever time after 7 o'clock. I can't always guarantee it's going to be at 7. Mom, I will call you right back. So tonight we're going to shift gears. So before we get started, I want to thank you all for returning. If you are new, welcome. I am Neka King. I am the owner of King's Legacy Group. And I am here for the purpose of sharing free information on financial literacy. Everything that I talk about has to deal with your financial journey from youth to elder. If I'm talking about it, it applies to financial literacy, your financial wellness, your financial security. So for the past few weeks, I have been talking about long-term investing, getting started, getting over your fear to get started. And I've spent enough time on that. I probably would have spent more time on it if there had been more feedback from you all that are listening. It's so funny. I even come across people out in public that know me and tell me that they watch my videos. But in my head, when they tell me, I'm thinking, you don't never damn say nothing. No, you don't even like, share. You don't do none of that. So since I don't know who's actually listening, I'm going to take a break from talking about long-term investing. If you want me to come back and share more information on it that I plan on doing, tell me, people. Tell me. So I'm going to step into another realm tonight, but it is in alignment with financial literacy, whether you think so or not. So before we get started, let's go over the regular disclaimer. All right. Everything looks dark. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm not here for you to like the way I look. I'm here for you to take the information I'm sharing and utilize it. The information King Legacy Group shares is based on my own opinions, experiences, practices, and insight into the strategies suitable to my family's financial wellness. I'm not a financial advisor, insurance agent, or investment broker, and my videos are for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only. You must do your own due diligence and seek professional assistance when you find the need to confirm or expand your understanding of the knowledge on any topics covered on this channel. Always remember to make smart decisions that suit your own needs and do your own research and analysis. And as always, please take the time to click like, share, make a comment if you like. And if you'd like to be notified of when I go live, YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, hit subscribe. So yes, free information, people. I know one of my family members tried to tell me I'm doing it for the money. What money? I ain't charged nothing. And what I do plan on selling, I'm not going to be pushing it like no pair of jeans or sports bra or nothing like that. If you find some use for it and you want to buy it, then I'm going to have it available for you to do so. But it's not anything I'm going to be pushing. I'm not doing this for the money. Ain't no money. I'm losing money by doing this, actually. But anyway, everybody had their own opinion, even though it'd be wrong. Is all I do was. All righty. So today is going to be about, as I said before, I am encouraging those hard topic discussions within our families. And this is one topic that is hard to discuss, but you can't avoid talking about it because it's a part of life. You are born, you live, and you die. It's coming, people. And this is one of the worst times that a family member or members can go through after losing a loved one. So, the life left behind must be closed. It must be closed out before, during, or after bereavement. That will include all those other feelings that you'll be going through at the same time, still having to handle the business affairs of the person that passed. You can't ignore that. You can't avoid any of that. You're going to have to deal with it. This is a lot of responsibility that will fall on hopefully not one person, hopefully a family of people will choose to come together, or at least two people work together to make sure things are handled the way they should be and the way the deceased wants it to be handled. So this video tonight is going to be part one of a series of life records. This is just one part of it. There is more to the basic information of bank accounts and life insurance, final bills, what information is needed to assess those accounts, to access those accounts, and how the process works. It is so much you're going to have to deal with. Either this information is passed on through the executor that's assigned to the estate, the lawyer, the CPA, living relative, or let's say a new spouse. In the previous video, I talked about couples finance and how a lot of the questions should be addressed before y'all even walk down the aisle, right after the decision has been made to say yes to marriage. A lot of people get married and don't know what the hell going on. God forbid something happen. You don't know where the information is, what to do, what they want, because you never sat down and talked about it. Because you figured you had a whole life to live and you could talk about it later. How many of us adults understood too early better is take care of it now. Don't wait to the last minute when the emergency or the circumstance occurs. Then you're going to be ass out trying to figure out what's going on, and you're adding on more stress to a situation that you just weren't prepared for, and your heart is broken and you can't think left or right. So yes, you got to have the conversations sooner than later. We got to stop being afraid to talk about, why is this so dark? I don't know why Instagram is so dark. What the world? Instagram just went black on me. Okay. I don't know what's going on with Instagram. It's fading out. But anyway, okay. So this is going to be part one. There is a tremendous amount of paperwork that can become overwhelming under this large mound of responsibility. So part of your New Year's resolutions, I hope that you chose to include, remember I talked about thinking better about your New Year's resolutions. Get past all that standard stuff we always reiterate every year and still don't execute or implement once the year started and throughout the year. So let's include some more checkpoints in our New Year's resolutions list. And this should be one of them. Pulling your family together, no matter how small, no matter how much money you got to leave or property to leave or whatever you have to leave your beneficiaries, it all still has to be discussed and planned out. Especially if you are a parent and you have children. Even though they may be grown children, still you have to discuss it. I myself have been putting off having the family discussion, but I'm going to schedule the family discussion by next month. We have to get together. I've been trying to have things in place before I have the discussion, but there's no point in keep putting off the discussion because you're going to have more than one meeting on this family topic. So just like anything else, we just got to get started. So by me doing this video, which is one reason why I want to go ahead and start the topic now, it's going to help me to jumpstart and get off my ass and have the first meeting. So yeah, I'm helping you by helping me. All righty. Again, I'm not going to make this long tonight. This was my day off, and I so needed it. I didn't want to be and I have my moments of this all the time. I have my moments where I don't want to be accommodating to anyone. I have spent all my life being accommodating to everybody. As I've gotten older, I have learned to appreciate the value in taking care of myself. And regardless of how this makes other people feel with my decisions for my life and my well-being, I am so okay saying no. I am so okay choosing me. And today was one of those days. My dad he called me, and, he want to talk. He can talk. But he and I luckily have a good relationship and communication. If I tell him I don't feel like talking, don't be asking me all them questions that you ask me every single phone call. I don't want to do it. I'm respectfully telling you, I do not feel like being accommodating today. I want my peace and quiet. I don't want to have to think about anything. And I really, this being my second day off, I didn't want to do anything. If I didn't want to wipe my tail, I didn't want to do it. I just didn't want to do it. I just wanted to be with me. That probably wasn't a good example, but I'm sorry. But I did. I didn't walk around with a funky booty. But I'm just using it, yeah. This was a me moment today. I didn't want to talk on the phone. I even made the decision to stop talking to the guy I met on the dating app, who I put at the top of the list. He found some way to mess it up. I sent that one text today. That's all the communication I needed. Other than that, I just caught up on my shows today and ate whatever I wanted and sat on my couch. Yes. But anyway, back to the subject at hand. All righty. Why is my computer frozen? Okay. All right. So I'm going to briefly go over the first stage to these life records I'm talking about. And I say life records because this is information that we need to get down on paper or in some form of writing, digital, whatever, and have a plan in place for the situation of someone passing and someone in the family having to have the responsibility of handling all the affairs. Hopefully not one person, but if it's at least two, great. You can work together and get things done. But it's not about what you want, what you need, is what you have to take care of for the person that passed. And it's about what they wanted and what they needed. And by what they want and what they needed, they should have made the point of telling you. And you should make the point of telling someone when it happens to you. So I'm just going to hit some points tonight, and on next video for the second stage, I will go into more detail. All this extra talking I'm doing tonight, when I do these other videos for this series, I'm just gonna hit the points. I'm just gonna hit the points. And this will hopefully help you start the conversation, create the checklist, and each one in your family figure out what they want to take place at their passing. All right? Because we got to change that thing we do when someone passes in a Black family, because nothing is in place, nothing is planned out, nothing is secured. And the first thing you got to do is figure out how you can come up with the money to bury the person. So that means either you're going to take money out of your family's well-being, or you're going to be stressed to beg other people for money with fundraisers, with fish fries and bacon sales and all that stuff. That's added stress to what you already got going on. Let's change how we do things, because what we've done in the past for too many families have not been successful, or has been more stressful than it had to be. So it's up to us to start changing how we do things, to do it a better way. All right. So the first thing you got to do, have a conversation with your immediate family. I don't care how small it is, don't care how big it is. Okay? Address the question at least 2-3 weeks ahead of time that you want to have the meeting. It doesn't have to be an in-person meeting. You can be a Zoom meeting. Or if all y'all vaccinated and taking care of yourselves and y'all can be around each other, then make it a barbecue. Make it a family dinner. While everybody in the kitchen helping cook the food or whatever, y'all can start the conversation then. You don't have to wait until you sit down at the table when you're trying to eat. Use a day of preparation of an event, barbecue, family dinner, family lunch, whatever the case may be, and start the conversation. You're not going to figure everything out the first get together. This is just to start everyone in the conversation, to get everyone's brain going and turning and thinking about what you want and what they will want for themselves. Because you're not setting it up for just one person. You're doing it for the entire family. And include the teenagers. They need to know what's going on. Even if they're not part of the decision making right now, they still are involved in the discussion. So as their generation of cousins and young aunts and young uncles get to the point where, they may need to have their own family meeting. Y'all got to figure out how that works for everybody. It's not just about coming together to talk about mama's burial or daddy's burial. It's about everybody. When my family has the family discussion, it's going to be about what my sons want. One of my sons is married. Yeah, his wife may be the living relative if my son were to die. But what if they both die in a car accident and the kids are left, the grandkids? We all need to know what's going on too and what they wanted with the grandkids. Right now, there are 3 grandkids. How they're going to be split up, if they're split up, or the one grandmother, we do shared custody. That has to be discussed. I hope that this video will make them start the discussion. We got to come together and talk about the difficult stuff. You can't wish the difficult stuff away, because the difficult stuff is going to come no matter what. All right. So give at least 2 to 3 weeks notice that you're interested in the family coming together for a first discussion. The first meeting would be to discuss the purpose of the meeting and review the plan of action for everyone that's going to have a decision, or everyone that wants to share what they want when they pass away. So again, it's not just about one person. So you're getting everybody together to go over the purpose of the meeting, and then figure out a plan on how you want to knock things out. Again, you're not going to handle everything in one meeting. All right. Create a family registry electronically, or go old school and do it in writing in a notebook or Excel spreadsheet, whatever the case may be, however it works. And hopefully it's more than one person doing this, and is not solely on one person handling everything. Unless that one handling everything, that's all they got to do, not going to take up too much of their time, and they're good at it. Okay, but everybody has to agree on it. But even if that one person, why is this phone keep going? Instagram. What? I don't know what's going on with this thing. Instagram. Okay, well, if it don't all show, it ain't my problem. I don't know what's going on. All right. Create a registry and start from there. But I was saying, if one person handles, that's fine. That's fine, just as long as everybody agrees on it. But at least have, even if one person agrees to handle everything and get everything in order so that everybody else can go over it later, that's fine. But hopefully one other person will assist them, because you got to always have a backup plan. What if the person that sets everything up is the only one that has all the information and knows what everything is, access their information? Okay, y'all still gonna be in the same situation because you didn't have a backup plan for somebody else to know what was going on. And again, this is the time to brainstorm for everyone's interest to be on the table of what they want for themselves. Okay? It's your choice on how you want your affairs to be handled at your time of death. Nobody else can control that. You just want to make sure your family is aware and that your wishes are met and followed. That's the only reason you're there. Not to dictate what somebody should or shouldn't do, or get upset on what their choices are. It's their choice, not yours. So that's the main thing. You got to put your personal feelings out the room, because it's not about you. What is about you applies to you only, not to your family member on what they want to do. Even if it's something that my son and his wife says or does that I don't like or agree with, it don't matter. If the grandkids survive and they don't, it's about what the parents want for their children. It ain't about what I want for my grandchildren and what the other grandparent wants for the grandchildren. It's about what my son and his wife wants. And I have to abide by that. And so does she. The only thing we can ask for is that there's fairness. That's the only thing I could ask for, is that that there is fairness. And if it's not, again, that's my problem I got to deal with. It's my son's and his wife's decision. The only thing I can do is accept it and respect it. I may not like it, but that's the only choice I have. Even when it comes to, I have a daughter who's still a minor. My other 3 sons are grown men. I have nothing to say about their life, but I still have a minor child. And even though I did my will years ago, well, I updated my will when I had my daughter. And not that me and her dad are on bad terms, but I made the decision then to have my oldest son take care of her if something happened to me. not necessarily go to her dad for reasons I don't need to share with y'all. But even now, because she's 15, about to be 16 this year, we even had the discussion a couple of months ago, last year, and I asked her, because I told her, because I had been I kept bringing up getting the family together so that we can get this stuff in order. I mean, I already have a will and trust and all that. I already have that. It's just not updated. But still, we still got to take care of everybody else in the family to get their paperwork in order and to update anything that needs to be updated. So anyway, I asked her recently because of her age. I told her what I already had in having my original will, what I had set up way back then when she was born. And I told her how I felt about what I still have in it and the decision that I made. And I asked her, because of her age, do you want to do this or do you want to do that? Because of your age, you have some say so. I'm not going to share what her choice was, but that was a discussion I had to have with her. Yeah. Not going to go into all them details of why. That's not y'all business. All right. If you want to, well, not if you, but decide on what prepaid legal service or lawyer to use to finalize the paperwork once you have gone through everything, because all of you are going to have a checklist, all of you are going to have questions, and that information will be inserted into those legal documents so that they can be printed, notarized, and all that stuff. So you can handle all that yourself just when everything is finalized, so it'll be notarized and document and filed. Then I would suggest use a prepaid legal service or a retained lawyer. Okay. Based on the age, the ability to be responsible, and the level of maturity, you need to figure out who can be appointed certain positions within the dynamics of your family meeting to handle certain situations. Again, it doesn't have to be handled by one person to have the sole responsibility, or two people. It could, the task could be delegated and managed by more than one person. You can even make this a thing to where your family comes together every 3 years, every 5 years, and everyone updates their information, files it, and secure it. When you get additional life insurance policies, or as you get older, you're going to gain more assets. You want to include that into the structure of your estate planning. So you and the family can come together and make this a regular scheduled meeting. It's just as simple as that. Y'all have meetings for everything else when it comes to your job, when it comes to social events. Have a meeting on the most important thing, your estate planning with your family. If you don't trust everybody in your family, okay, that's a discussion, and everybody get their part of what they can handle and what they can't handle, and y'all go from there. The point is, y'all got to start the discussion. Decide on the method of securing those legal documents once they're completed, and what is the backup plan. Remember, you always got to have a backup plan to your plan. You need to figure out what is the financial budget to cover expenses per person. During that discussion, you realize that some of the people who are old enough to make this decision and go through this process, they don't have any life insurance yet. This could be the point of family members that are in the family that are familiar with life insurance that can help them start their life insurance, walk them through the process, or send them to a person they can trust to set up the policy and choosing the best kind of policy. I know I can't tell you which one, but y'all know which one I prefer. So yes, you gotta figure out. That's part of the brainstorm. That's part of the discussion. That's part of the conversation between you and your family members. Figuring out who's able to establish what and who needs to establish what. Okay? So helping those family members that need to implement some things so they can get to the point of having that security for their beneficiaries. Let's say you have a teenage daughter or teenage father in your family. They more than anybody need to have this information because they are now responsible for another human being. They don't have to wait until they 30, 40, 50 to do this stuff. It's the whole purpose of this platform. Teaching us to do better starting young as opposed to doing it last minute when we old and not being prepared as we should have been at our age. Okay. Create a services checklist. And again, I'm just pinpointing some things now, but on the next video, I'm going to break it down by category. I'm going to break it down by time span of what you should be doing before. I don't know what's going on with this Instagram. What you should be doing before, what you should be doing after death, and what you still may have to do months after death. All of that's going to be broken down. I'm just hitting some quick points for tonight. What documents will be created and updated? For example, a will. You need to have a will in place. Don't let probate court decide everything. And a will only gives information on what the deceased wants. Only what they want. How those things are executed will be determined in a trust. If there's no living trust or trust, the decision is on probate court, and that could take 90 days or more for it to be resolved. Stop leaving everything up to the man to handle your business, even at death. So I'm going to clarify that too. I'm going to explain exactly what the purpose and the authority that a will carries and what a living trust and trust legally carries, controls, oversees, dictates. I'm explaining power of attorney. You got power of attorney for medical and finance. And when you shouldn't do a power of attorney over a family member who, like, let's say, owe taxes, because power of attorney gonna mean it's gonna be on you to still pay that afterwards. Yeah, you got to be careful with that too. But I'll explain all that further in another video, in another segment of the series. If I kind of hate to say this, if your estate is more than 500,000, yes, I do feel you should have an estate attorney or a CPA. But honestly, if it's 100,000, not everybody can handle 100,000. So you do what's best for your situation. Okay, so I won't give it a limit of 500,000. That's on you. Okay. And I mean 500,000 cash, stocks, property, real estate and all that stuff. However you add, however is added up. I'm not just talking about the money, the cash. Okay. I'm talking about overall assets. Okay. That's pretty much it for now. I just want you all to take this time to send a mass text. And I hate mass text, but on this one, you may want to do a mass text. And even though when I do send a mass text, I always put at the end, do not respond to this mass text. Do not. I put it in bold letters, and I be damned if somebody still don't respond to the mass text. People, when you do mass text to people, all the recipients, you are not to respond to the mass text unless it specifically asks you to. But the thing is, you are constantly sending messages to the people that also receive the text, and those are a lot of repeated responses that may not even be directed towards you. It should be directed towards the sender. So that's why you should not respond to mass text. You should respond to the sender only. Like on Thanksgiving and holidays, I ain't gonna call somebody out, but I appreciate the wishing the well wishing for Thanksgiving and Christmas. But I don't need to see all the 30 people that you sent that same text to sending you the same thing. I don't need to hear all them beeps on my phone. Okay, I'm rambling again. I'm sorry. Okay, so next week I'm going to go over the stage 2 checklist, okay, for the life record keeping. And it's going to be broken down into sections. What you should take care of before death. I'm going to go over everything that should be discussed in the first meeting with your family. All the things that you should cover in the first meeting with your family. That's what I'm going to go over next Wednesday. Then the following Wednesday, because I can't do it all in one video, it'll just be way too much and more than an hour. I'm going to go over what you should do at the time of death, the checklist for that. The third Wednesday, I'm going to go over what you should do or what you may have to take care of after the service. So those are the 3 categories. Those are the 3 categories before the family discussion, before anything happens, at the time of death, and after services. I'm going to break those down 3 ways. And it's going to be a lot of information per category. So that's why I'm doing it on different videos. Okay? And it's going to cover a lot. Some stuff you're going to realize I didn't even think of. But yeah, that's why I'm here, people, to share information. I don't know what's going on with Instagram. I may have to delete that one because I go back and look and see how it looked. But anyway, so yes, I'm going to say goodnight, people. Enjoy the rest of my last day off for tomorrow. So, anything else I need to say? Nothing I want to add right now. I just wanted to let you know what direction we're going in for the next few videos. And then we're going to move on to some more good topics. And I guess you all may ask the question, what does it have to do with financial literacy? Financial literacy is about your life planning. This is part of your life plans. Things you should set up to be prepared for emergencies, unforeseen circumstances, situations, whatever you want to call it. It is relatable to financial literacy, your life records. And this is a small part of the life records I'm talking about. It's just one little part of it. All righty. I'm going to say goodnight, people. Let me go back and look at this Instagram and see how it looked while it was phasing out, blacking out. Yeah. I'm going to say goodnight. You all take care of yourselves. And as always, thank you for showing up. I hope you found some value in the content shared tonight. So until next time, take care of yourselves and know that knowledge is real power when you apply it. And remember, a road better planned is easier traveled. So see you next time. Good night. I got to make sure I shut off Instagram too, because I didn't do it last week. And I'm so glad I didn't do anything embarrassing while I was still recording. Good night, y'all. All right, YouTube is off. Instagram.